After nearly a year, the search for missing teen Janelle Carwell comes to an end.
Her dental records match the bones found in the woods behind an Augusta home.
If you got a heart and you believe in humanity, this has hurt you.
Heavy hearts for a teenager who vanished on her 16th birthday. Her own mother and stepfather behind bars in connection with her murder.
It's demonic. I mean, who does that to their child? To any human being, but your mother, your stepdad.
Tonight, we're hearing from community members who spent months searching for Janelle. Good evening, I'm Richard Rogers.
And I'm Laura Warren. Good to have you with us. Just before 4 o'clock today, the Richmond County coroner confirmed bones found at a home on Golden Camp Road last Thursday do belong to Janelle Carwell. That makeshift burial site less than 2 miles from her home on Tate Road.
Janelle went missing on her birthday last April, and in May, her mother, Tanya Tripp, and stepfather, Leon Tripp, were arrested in Atlanta. Leon is charged with murder and kidnapping. Tanya charged with concealing her daughter's death.
Our Ben Billmeyer live for us on Golden Camp Road right near that scene. Ben, what can you tell us?
Thank you. Richard and Laura, an entire concerned Augusta community made their way to the edge of these woods off of Golden Camp Road last summer when reports were surfacing all over social media that Carwell's body may have been found back here. That was a false alarm, but if you follow me over this way, you'll see the woods right across the street from that side where more reports of human remains found in the backs of these woods surfaced last week. This time the news was real, and it's the news that Augusta community had been fearing for nearly a year. It's not the answer Pastor Angela Hardin had been hoping for, but she says at least now there is an answer to the question that's haunted an Augusta community for months.
It's been almost a year, 11 months, and we've been praying even up until the moment she was found that we wouldn't go into a year not knowing where Janelle is. So God has answered our prayers.
Hardin helped organize community searches and prayer vigils like this one last June at Josie High School. Even after so much time and effort, she's choosing to remember the 16-year-old as a girl with a bright future ahead of her.
Let's not forget who Janelle was. Her classmates, her friends, her family, her neighbor said that who she was. She was a good girl. She was a smart young lady.
Ray Montana is thankful for closure too, but he still has trouble imagining what could have led to her death.
I just cannot imagine nobody doing that to their child. I just can't imagine that. It hurt more than just me, it hurt the city, with no racial barriers. If you got a heart and you believe in humanity, this has hurt you.
As for Angela, the questions and the pain remain.
As a community, let's pray that no other family has to go through this. This is tragic. But it's just heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking for a lot of people, and I had a chance to talk to some friends who were close to the family and really have been following this search since it started nearly a year ago, who say that this news that we got today was really a long time coming. They said that you'd really have to be naive to think that Janelle was still alive after all these months, but they said that they're still very grateful for this closure, that they have at least some answer to know for sure.
All right, especially after that stepfather told police that she was dead. It turns out he was telling the truth, but still a lot of questions left to be answered in this case, Ben.
Yeah, that's right, Laura. The Richmond County coroner says that the autopsy that they will be performing on Carnell's body is expected to be done in a few days. So we're still waiting on the results of that as well.
We will be watching that as well. Ben Billmeyer reporting there from near the site where her remains were recovered and identified today. Just a sudden development in a case that's mainly plugged a big hole for prosecutors as well. Now they have a big piece of evidence they didn't have before.
Which is very difficult to pursue a murder conviction if you do not have a body. So hopefully this will mean justice for Janelle. Also tomorrow, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, they're holding a news conference to talk about this case. So we're hoping we're going to learn a lot more. That happens at 10:30. Of course, we will be there and we'll be sure to update you on what the sheriff has to say on News 12 Midday. You can also find that online at WRDW.com. Kevin?
Well, Laura and Richard, for the second day in a row, we had cool temperatures, cloudy skies, and plenty of rain. Also some sleet to go along with the rain. This picture was sent in to us from E.D. Walden from Trenton. And yes, I'm titling this Sleet on a Trampoline. That's an amazing picture there. You can see the little white dots there. Yeah, we had little ice chunks falling from the sky. Now that is cold. Now we have some lingering showers out there to our southeast, but for the most part, the rain is done for tonight. Thanks for sending that picture in. And we've got, you can send us your pictures to My Capture or upload it to the 1226 app. Now, as far as temperatures right now, we're getting down to the 30s in some areas. We've got 42 right now in Augusta, already 36 in Aiken, 35 up in Saluda, and we are expecting some areas to get down to freezing. The areas shaded in blue have the best chance to get to 32 degrees or colder tonight. We've got freeze warnings, freeze watches going on across much of the region. So out the door in the morning, it's going to be cold, but at least the sun will be shining. But, you know, it rises a little bit later now after daylight savings over the weekend. So sunrise tomorrow morning, 7:42. You're going to need that warm jacket out the door. And we have a couple cold nights ahead. Those details are straight ahead.
Thanks, Kevin. Wednesday marks 1 month since this deadly shooting in Parkland, Florida. Thousands of students nationwide are expected to walk out of class for 17 minutes honoring those Florida victims. We did some checking and found each school system locally is reacting a little differently. Richmond County will work to give students a safe and secure place to protest if they do walk out. Aiken County schools will also allow a walkout. They are asking students not to leave campus, though, and return to class in a timely manner. Columbia County schools tell us a student walkout would not be safe, and if students do leave class, they say they'll respond to get those kids back in class. The schools say they're still working with student groups there to find other ways for students to express themselves.
Meanwhile, an elementary school in Anderson County, South Carolina, which was at the center of a deadly shooting back in 2016, will deliver a frame with a dream catcher to Parkland High School after the shooting there. This is interesting. The dream catcher has been passed down by survivors of school shootings since Columbine to Sandy Hook and everywhere in between. That frame has been hanging at Townville Elementary for 15 months now, and on Thursday it will head to a new home.
And there have been, sadly, a number of shootings since that time. It just didn't seem like the right time for us to pass it on. But when Parkland happened, Denise Fredericks, the principal, and I, we talked and just said, you know, I think it's time. I think it's time.
Hard to believe there has to be a tradition like that. There are so many school shootings now. But for Townville, the dream catcher has been a source of healing, they say, a symbol of love and unity. But now the school says those in Florida need it more.
Grovetown Mayor Gary Jones firing back at a city council member after she continued to make accusations about him. Our Brooke Zarno was at tonight's council meeting where the mayor tried to clear the air. Brooke?
Yeah, that's right. Well, Councilwoman Deborah Fisher is the newest face on Grovetown City Council. Mayor Jones says while he wants the city to move forward, he can't if city council can't get along.
Allegations against Grovetown's mayor started just before City Council member Deborah Fisher took office in January. With a crowd in council chambers, Mayor Jones chose to address it.
Since taking office, Councilwoman Fisher has falsely accused me of various issues, such as creating a toxic work environment, improper terminations, conducting secret meetings, and so on.
The first accusation filed by Councilmember Fisher accused Mayor Jones of violating Georgia's Open Meetings Act, a complaint dismissed by the Attorney General's office. The second complaint came after Mayor Jones made comments about a class action lawsuit the city settled last year. Fisher claimed his comments could get the city in even more legal trouble. The city attorney disagrees.
So, Councilwoman Fisher, I ask you now, are you going to stop creating this drama and setbacks for the city and move towards a more harmonious relationship with this official body?
Fisher opted not to comment during the meeting, but she did have something to say later.
I haven't attacked the mayor personally, and because I haven't attacked him personally, I don't think I've done anything wrong.
Mayor Jones says it's gone so far, he's willing to get an attorney involved.
I wanted to give her an opportunity to listen to what I had to say and move forward with the city, and she declined to even make a comment or accept responsibility.
What I've done, I've commented on procedures in the city, and I think that's my job as a city council member. It's not my job to agree with the mayor on everything that is said and everything that, he does.
So at this point, we're going to have to wait and see if those two can move on beyond this. Councilwoman Fisher tells me she's ready to focus on the issues at hand, but isn't afraid to challenge Mayor Jones if needed.
Right, Brooke. But what about Mayor Jones? It says like he's ready to take legal action here.
Yeah, that's right. He tells me he's spoken to an attorney, but as a public official, that might be a pretty tough legal case to win. But maybe tonight will help clear the air on some of that.
We hope so. Brooke, thanks.
2 weeks ago, deputies say this guy, Monroe Hall III, led them on a chase. Today, the Aiken County Sheriff's Office tells us they've got him. They say they found him in a hotel in Aiken under the box spring of one of the beds. Hall is accused of breaking into a home on Hillman Street in the Warrenville area after a shooting earlier. That was on February 27th. Police were searching for him for hours. He's charged with burglary, selling meth, and a host of other charges. These 3 other people were in the hotel with him when he was found, and they're also facing charges.
Developing tonight, police in Austin, Texas, searching for whoever is leaving package bombs at the doorsteps of people's homes. They say 2 bombs exploded today, one of them killing a teenager and injuring his mother. The second bomb seriously injuring an elderly woman.
Couple of people, they knew the family that I know, and my heart goes out.
Investigators say the bombs today are linked to a third one that exploded earlier this month in the same city. All 3 bombings happening in a predominantly minority and historically African-American part of town. Officials have not ruled out the possibility this may be a case of terrorism or a hate crime. Well, it's a new service bringing food from local restaurants to your door, and it's expanding to Augusta.
It's called Waiter, and starting Thursday, you can use that app to order food from more than 24 places. That includes places like Firehouse, Cheeseburger Bobby's, Minchie's, and a lot more. And there's also a lot more places listed. It says coming soon on the app. So here's how you get it. You go to waiterapp.com on your computer, or you can download that app on your smartphone. And from there, you pick Augusta, then you pick the restaurant you want to order from.
Then you can place your order using the restaurant's entire menu there on the app. Waiter says it'll be the exact same price if you went to the restaurant to buy it there in person, only they are offering a $5 flat fee. So one more convenience for you to have.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try it out. I downloaded the app and I sorted through some of the ones they have, but I've got to test it for myself, but I'll let you know.
Let us know. Report back. Kevin?
Guys, another big storm moving up the eastern seaboard, and this one's going to dump even more snow than the last 2. We'll talk more about this third nor'easter in a couple of weeks, and also how cold it's going to get for us this week. Hey, will spring ever get here? Details are coming up.